The climax of the European golfing season, the Volvo Masters, live from Valderrama after the break.
Eurosport Live.
The Volvo Tour is brought to you by Volvo.
In 1995, Eurosport has followed the Volvo European Tour from the very first event in Dubai in January through to this afternoon's final round of the season. Welcome to the Volvo Masters, live from Valderrama, Europe's finest golfers on the continent's toughest layout. I promise you, we're in for a fascinating afternoon. Conditions are glorious here on Spain's Costa del Sol. Temperatures nudging into the 80s. A refreshing breeze for spectators, making it tricky for golfers. Valderrama above the port of Soto Grande, midway between Cadiz and Malaga, and close to the Rock of Gibraltar. Well, the touring professional here is Anders Forsbrand. He won in Berlin 3 weeks ago. He set the pace early on with a 68 to lead by 1 from Jose Caceres at the end of Thursday. And Forsbrand was still there after a round of 70. 2 shots of Alexander Cejka, who had the best round of the day, a 66. Yesterday, Forsbrand faltering on the back 9, but still leading by 1 from Cejka, from Colin Montgomery, and Ian Woosnam, the only player to be par or better all 3 rounds. And there's a race at the top of the order of merit. Sam Torrance starting the day at 4 over, just £4,000 ahead of Colin Montgomery and 60,000 ahead of Bernhard Langer, the defending champion. And some good news if you're a Sam Torrance fan. I'll bring you that in a moment, because this will not be, as it was in Berlin, a barrage of birdies. This is toughest golf course on the continent, and level par is a very good round around here. So let's have a look and see what's happening at the moment. Ian Woosnam with birdies at 8 and 9, out in 34, and he leads at this moment in time by 2. This is his putt at the 10th down the green. It's such a tricky putt, and he's played that superbly. All year long, he's struggled with the putter. We've seen his trials and tribulations. He's only had 1 top 10 finish. He's won at least 1 tournament for each of the last 9 years, and it might be coming right for Ian Woosnam at the last possible opportunity. This is the last match of the day, and Anders Forsbrand dropped the shot at the 2nd and then had a double bogey 6 at the 5th hole. He's 3 over for the day. 3 shots now off the pace, playing with Per-Ulrik Johansson, who's had 3 bogeys, no birdies. I'll tell you about Sam Torrance in just a moment. Been joined in the commentary box by Matthias Grumberg, the Canon European Masters champion, who's no stranger to the Eurosport commentary box. Welcome, Matthias.
Thank you, Steve.
Tough day out there.
It certainly was a very, very tough day out there.
There's Anders Forsbrand on the 9th from the middle of the fairway. The pin cut back right, and that needs to slow. There's a bunker just behind that. Needed some grip on that one. It was kind of a steep slope up to the green from the fairway. Sam Torrance birdied the last, and a round of 68 today. Sam's in the clubhouse at 1 over. And suddenly the putts are starting to drop. There's Jesper Parnevik in contention at 1 under, just 1 off the pace. Colin Montgomery, thanks, saving his par there. And Montgomery dropped shots at 8 and 9, 7 straight pars. He was looking very solid. Jose Rivero is level par. He's just made a 5 at the 11th, the par 5. Here's Per-Ulrik. Not much has happened for Johansson. 3 bogeys so far. Is this the toughest of the 4 days, do you think, Matthias? Or was Thursday was quite tough as well?
The first 3 days, the golf course played pretty much the same. The last day today, the wind was coming from Portugal, and it was making it really, really tough out there.
Here's Johansson 2nd to the 9th. Got a long drive there.
A very, very long drive, yes.
It's good of Matthias to come into the commentary box and stay as long as you can, but I know around about 4 o'clock you've got to go and get a plane.
Yeah, I'm going to go back.
That's back to Sweden, the end of what's been a terrific year for you with that win in Switzerland.
Thank you very much, Steve.
We saw that on the Eurosport, and it was a tremendous performance. And what about this man, Ian Woosnam, then, on the 11th, having made his par, 2 under, and this a birdie opportunity. Wind off the right, helping perhaps a little.
The wind's coming from behind, from the right to left, and I would like Woosnam wants to birdie this, or maybe even get an eagle.
A lot of players have. It's probably the easiest hole statistically on the course, but he's pushed that away to the right, and that does fall away towards those bunkers. Well, he's okay. He's short of the bunker, and he's sitting up okay.
He could still reach the green from there if he's got a good lie.
Now, Colin Montgomery, just signs of the tension. He looked so calm and in control all week long, and I think most of the money was on Monty to come through. He's only just about £4,000, just under £4,000 behind Sam Torrance. And now, of course, Sam Torrance, they're both on the same mark, 1 over. And there was a little bit of feeling in that one.
And that's a super drive there.
Through that narrow landing area.
Down the fairway there.
Bernhard Langer just had his first birdie of the day here at 11, and he's 1 over now, the other contender in the race. We've had a challenge from Howard Clark, which has just ended with a double bogey 6 at 16, going from level par to 2 over. Costantino Rocca's only 1 over. Any number of players could win, including this one, Jose Rivero. What club will he be using here, do you think?
Probably a 6-iron or a 5-iron.
So the wind is
it's coming off the right, right downwind.
Pin today on the 12th, 14 paces on, 4 to the left. So he's got himself an uphill putt, but it's still quite a difficult one from there.
Jose will be on the left side of the green, right side of the green, and will be a little bit downhill to the putt.
Right. Does tilt from right to left as the players look at it. Now 9th hole, 3rd shot for Per Oric. You see just how fast these greens are, and that's a lovely touch.
It seems like today the greens have picked up pace, and they're a lot quicker today.
I don't know what they are on the stimp meter, but I mean there must be about 12 probably at least.
With the hills here at Valderrama on the green, with the slope, it makes it a lot quicker.
Still to come for all these players, the 17th. I'll ask you about that a little bit later. It's been a horror hole for various players, and you suffer today. And with an 8, I mean, the pin place in there, you have to see that to believe how hard it is. Here's Anders Forsbrand. See having to stand in the bunker. All the pressure's been on Anders. He's led almost from start to halfway through the finish. That double bogey at the 5th, first time he's been out of at least a share of the lead. It looked a simple shot. It just isn't coming out of that rough, is it?
I think he almost took that a little bit of top of that. Didn't get any bite at all on the chip.
Well, Anders Forsbrand starting to slip away, and sometimes it's difficult to stop that slide. He needs to make this putt, and he needs to make a birdie pretty quickly. Otherwise, it may be Jesper Parnevik, the Swede, that comes through. Or it could be this man, David Guilford. He's consistent. He's played well here before. Moment 3 off the pace. Scoring is pretty tough. Stuart Cage at a 71, Joachim Hagman at 71, Darren Clark 71, and the best round of the day, Tony Johnston with a 70. He's the only player today to complete a round of under par until Sam Torrance came through, and that just makes Sam Torrance's round look even better, 68. I wonder how important that could be. Here's Papanovic coming off 2 birdies in a row. Having gone out in 35 level par, that's going to be difficult for him to save par here now. Forsbrand to save his par on the night. You see, out then in 39, 35 the par for the front 9, 36 coming home.
The thing in Valderrama, it seems like if you get 1 or 2 bogeys, it's so easy to start making bogeys here around Valderrama. It so comes up every hole.
You've just got to be mentally so strong around here. This was Lange yesterday. Took a 5 at 15 and dropped a shot at 16, and then finished with a birdie at 18. That was a great birdie. Here's his second at the 12th. Oh dear. Well, you don't see that very often from Bernhard. It's, you know, why it shows how much it means to him, defending the trophy, wanting to win the Order of Merit. And
really wants to play well, and it's very frustrating, the grass around the greens, because it's very inconsistent rough, and it makes it so tough because no chip will be the same.
Yeah. Well, if he's top 2, he's the first man in Europe to £5 million in prize money, less a pound or two of the fine he might get for that show of frustration. And he's one of the mentally toughest players in the world, and you know, to even get into him.
We were looking at the top 14 players. There's 9 Ryder Cup players up there, and it just shows that you have to be very, very mentally tough to make it.
Yeah. And of course, the European team that went and won in Oak Hill was big on experience, and they included this man at the last moment, Ian Woosnam, and the performance in Oak Hill has turned Woos' season around. There were signs in Basebek, the Scandinavian Masters, that from tee to green there wasn't a lot wrong. It was just the putting. He's starting to roll the putts in today. Second shot up the hill to the 11th. You can see the pin on the highest part of the course. Oh, he would have been better off in the bunker.
He would have definitely been better in the bunker. That's not a good place to be in. Certainly with the 11th green is very, very hard as well.
Well, here's Papanovic, just, you see, just off.
You will see that most of the pros, they are trying to get an idea before they hit the shot, how to play the shot, and it's so hard because every shot you have to think of something new to play.
We've seen a lot of players almost just off the green, almost playing out of the rough as if they're playing a bunker shot as well.
Sometimes that's the best way to do it, and sometimes a normal chip shot will be the best way to play it. But
well, yes, Papanovic's had a good season in Europe, even though he's played most of his time in America, winner of the Volvo Scandinavian Masters. And that was a fabulous performance in Basebek, and the first Swede to win on the Volvo Tour in his home country.
This golf course is set up a little bit like an American golf course, and it might be favorable for the players that are playing outside Europe, like Ian Woosnam and Jesper Palmvik, when they're
experience abroad. Yeah. Just see how he's opening. Looks like he's opening up the club. Oh. Well, must have been sitting down.
Yeah. The thing is that you give it a little bit extra to get on the green, because if you don't hit through it, you might stay in the rough. So
for sure. And he's struggling to save par now. Just missed the green, and you don't have to miss it by much. Now Jose Rivero leaving his putt short for birdie, and now he's got a tricky one to save par. See Panovik in second place, but that may well change. Bernhard Langer has already played 3, and the best he can do is a bogey 4. His second shot wasn't a lot better than his first from the side of the green. Rivero, that's his first drop shot of the day. He'd had 11 straight pars. This course can grab you anywhere, anytime. Rivero slipping to 1 over par. Problems for the Germans. Bernhard Langer certain to drop at least one shot. Sven Struve just had an 8 and 11.
It's very tough to back 9 today. A lot of double bogeys and triple bogeys has been made over the last 9 holes.
Well, I'm sure that Sam Torrance, having carded that 68, will be maybe enjoying a well-deserved beer, and it could be a very good afternoon for Sam. And Colin Montgomery's second up to the 11th, a long drive, and
he was a little bit unlucky with that. He didn't get any run at all on that.
That was on tape, and yeah, he probably thought it would kick on onto the green, and probably didn't want to land on the putting surface, perhaps because it's so firm.
Yes, he wanted to land short and then let it run on to the green, but very unlucky there to just sit on the fairway.
Colin Montgomery, a Valderrama specialist, he plays well wherever he goes, but of course a winner here 2 years ago and lost in the playoff to Sandy Lau 3 years ago. And I think he's having a go at the Marshall. Sometimes you find this on golf course, the Marshalls are doing the best they can, but sometimes they cause more disruption than the spectators who just want to watch the golf. And you know, if he was playing really well, and if he was 2 under par for the day, he wouldn't notice it so much.
No, that's true. The moment you start making bogeys, you hear a lot of sounds, and this chip shot, he needs to land it a couple of yards on the green and then check it a little bit. And
oh dear. I mean, it's important to make a birdie at this hole because there aren't too many other chances to come. It's been a long, hard season. It's a hot Sunday afternoon. 1 or 2 tempers getting a little frayed, but probably the calmest man at Valderrama is this man, David Guilford. And that helps.
And he keeps making putts as well.
Well, there he is, level par, and Ian Woosnam's got a tricky third shot at 11. And again, you wouldn't say that, though he's played well this week, depends how much confidence Woos has got to keep this going. You couldn't confident if it was Nick Faldo, say, and peak of his form, you might say, well, he can grind out the pars. He's played that shot as well as he could, and that's what, if he starts or continues making that length of putt, he's going to be very tough to beat. Is there much swing on this one? At 13 for Parnevik.
Not a lot break in it, no.
And has he got the pace then? Oh, just enough break.
I would say that number 12, 13, 14 and 15 are bogey holes.
And
So
then there's 17.
And 17 could be double disaster hole as well. And
It would be nice to get to 17 if it were to be Woosnam's week, knowing that a par was good enough. It's going to be very exciting if people feel they have to go for it and try and make the birdie. I see Colin Montgomery face like thunder. Oh, you wouldn't want to upset him now, would you? It's been Europe's #1 for the last 2 years, and you know, in the absence of a major, which he came so close to in the US PGA, to be #1 in Europe would be the best consolation he could get, as well as being a member of the Ryder Cup side. And,
obviously this putt is downhill and very, very quick putt.
So just a par, but that will feel like an opportunity wasted, particularly when he was so close with the second shot.
That's a wasted opportunity to make a birdie, and now he's got 3-4 very tough holes to play before he has another birdie.
And there's fourth round again. This is a tough pin placing at 10th. The pin close to the front. If you try and get below the pin, you're going to spin off and down the hill. Now, if that spins down, he's got a downhill putt, but that's the percentage place to be.
That's a percentage shot. That's what you want to do. I played with Philip Walton today, and he really struggled on that hole.
7, wasn't it? I mean, up and down the hill.
Yeah, he took
like Jack and Jill, wasn't he? Came back to him, I think, 2 or 3 times.
3 times.
Three
Came
times,
back
yeah.
for him.
Now Woosnam, no, he's not picked the line on that one. Well, pars would do. I'm sure he'd take par in through to 18. I'd say Paul Eales, who had a 7 at 17 yesterday, has made a 4 today. He's only 1 over for the day, 4 over. Good week for the Lancastrian. Howard Clark dropped a shot there, and is also 3 over level par. Costantino Rocca 1 over. Sandy Lyle 6 over. Dropped 3 shots in the first 3 holes. Sandy Lyle, former winner. That was the one time we had a playoff when he beat Colin Montgomery. I still think there's a chance that we might have a second playoff later on this afternoon, but we shall see.
Certainly, I will say that 17 and 18 will be a spectacular finish, because you can make anything on 17, and 18 is the same as well.
Absolutely. That's all to come live on Eurosport. At the moment, Ian Woosnam looking for his first win of the year. He's 2 clear of Jesper Parnevik and David Guilford. That's the ball of Ian Woosnam into the bunker, the tournament leader by 2 at the 12th hole. And that's a tough bunker shot he's got. There's no easy bunker shots around here. Welcome back. Live coverage of the climax of the Volvo golfing year. Live from Valderrama. I'm joined by Matthias Gromberg. And we're looking at Jesper Parnevik, who's still very much in this tournament. It's a superb shot at 14 up the hill. The important thing to be below the pin.
I think that Jesper still has quite a tricky putt there, so.
As well, Colin Montgomery has got to steady the ship. He's dropped shots at 8 and 9, only made a par at 11, where many of his rivals have been picking up shots, and he's at the moment level on Sam Torrance, who's finished his round. So not many birdie opportunities to come. Sam sitting pretty in the clubhouse, but Colin Montgomery, the best iron player in the world, and that is just a superb shot.
That's a fantastic shot. Obviously, he was lucky or happy to see Ian Woosnam with the wind taking the ball for Woosnam.
Bernhard Langer at the 13th. He's gone through the green, and Bernhard Langer is into the other player involved in the race at the top of the order of merit. 1 shot worse off than Sam Torrance at the moment.
Still a fantastic shot.
Well, Sam Torrance is the leader in the clubhouse, and at the moment he shares 4th place. 3 shots behind Ian Woosnam. And there he is. I think he's going to enjoy his afternoon. He may be a little bit nervous. Would mean a lot to win the Volvo Order of Merit. He's never won it before, and he's played the best golf of his life. And he may have to just keep himself a little bit loose, because he wouldn't get that long odds on there being a playoff on 1 over. It's possible. We were saying in the break, Matthias, that it's not the sort of course where you can go out and think, well, I can make birdies on the way home. You've got to hang on to your score. I think the field is going to come back closer to Torrance before the afternoon's through. All depends on Woosnam. He's the man in control at the moment. Now this has to come back down the slope for David Guilford. He's got a very fast putt there.
I think that David played a percentage shot there, just to find the green.
Well, Jose Rivero, let's not rule out the Spaniard, who for a long time was the course record holder with 65 in the 2nd Volvo Masters. Is to get a share of 2nd place. It's got the line, but it hasn't got the pace.
It seems like putts like Jose's putt there, where it stops so short of the hole, it gets even more frustrating in Valderrama.
Now difficult is this shot?
Well, it's a lot easier than the other shot. If he would have gone a little bit more left of the bunker, it would have been even further down. Now he still save par here.
He gets a spin. Oh, he nearly did better than that. I think he put as much spin on it as he could, and even then couldn't put it up, check it by the hole. Right smile. Stand quite hard in that bunker, is it?
Most of the bunkers here in Valderrama is quite hard, and you seem trying to get the spin on it, but the bounce on the sand wedge just makes the ball go with no spin.
Oh, there's Bernhard Langer. That will help.
That's a very, very good save there.
Well, he's not out of it yet at 2 over. Costantino Rocca's chances have ended. He's taken 7 at 17. Claims another victim. So Rocca 3 over. David Guilford for a share of second place. And as you say, Matthias, percentage shot and 2 putts will probably do here. He won't be unhappy.
I think that's what he get it on the green when he was in the rough on the left side of the fairway, and just make your par. Maybe drop it in for a birdie.
Yes, he just set that away, and look how it's picking up pace. He really just set that on his way. And he's got an uphill putt at least now. Not a gimme though. Colin Montgomery for a birdie too.
This could be a very, very big putt if he makes this. It gives him a little bit of confidence going into 13 and 14 to make this one.
He's
very good.
He's moaned about his putting most of the year, but he makes an awful lot. Because the quality of his iron play is such.
You can see the tension in Colin.
It's a warm afternoon. I'm surprised he's got the short sleeve sweater on. Ian Woosnam leading by 2. Now, Jesper Parnevik, this is a real birdie opportunity. And this would be for outright second.
Touch downhill from the hill on the green, and should be breaking a little bit from right to left as well. He was very close on the last putt he made on 13, so.
An aggressive putter. I mean, he likes to attack the hole.
He certainly does. Don't do it here, though.
No, this is not perhaps the week. It was a good effort, just on the low side. Howard Clark at a par at the last to stop the rot, but that's ending a run of 2 sixes in a row. And at one stage, Howard Clark looked as if he could be in with a chance, but at 71 is still an excellent round of golf. At 68 of Sam Torrance is just looking better and better. Just looking at Roger Chapman, an even worse finish, finished 6, 7, 6 and 84. Barry Lane had a 76, Peter Baker a 71, Ignacio Garrido a 78, and what a finish from Paul Hills. He's finished birdie. He only got into this tournament when he got a top 6 finish in Berlin. He's finished birdie for a 71, 3 over. It's a great week. He's normally in this commentary box, but he's been playing so well, I haven't been able to get him in this week. So I'd rather talk about him than to him. Now Guilford, this one should be okay up the hill, and he's solid from that length. Yes, and he's not one to get excited, and now him is the man who owned this 17th hole last year. 17th is the first view. It's been changed. It's attracted a lot of controversy. I said the one thing it's done is provide some great television coverage, but we'd rather watch it and talk about it than play it. And here's Ian Woosnam to save his par at 12. That's been happening all year to Woosie. He's just got to keep patient. He's had 3 birdies and now 3 bogeys. Jean-Louis Geppy just coming off a 6 at 16. He's 6 over par. Up that right-hand side, lying well, but he may want to go at the green, but I don't think Jimenez will be able to.
On 17 today, it's so hard to reach the green on 2 because the wind is into it off the left, and it's hard to reach the green in 2. Most of the players will be laying up on 17. 15, where we see Jesper and Guilford, the downwind from left to right, and I think they will be hitting something like, Jesper will be hitting 3-iron or 4-iron.
It's a traditional last day pin placing tuck in that back right hand corner, but I suppose if there are any conditions where you can perhaps get close, slide it in there, the conditions are all in your favour today.
It's played a lot easier today with downwind left to right, and you just aim on the left side of the green and then let the wind bring it into the pin.
Well, you were an expert on this hole. You're one of only 3 men to have made a 2 here. What club did you hit?
I hit 3-iron. Let the wind bring it in, brought it in about 10 feet away and made the putt. One of the few today, though.
Darren Clark and Matt Slammer, the only other 2. David Guilford first to play, and you see he's going across the left-hand side of the tee, giving himself as much room. Probably taking the aim on that first bunker on the left.
If you put a little bit touch of fade on it, you can actually keep it on the left bunker and bring it in. That's a beautiful shot.
That's going to get better and better. Look at the way, working its way down the green.
He really put a touch of fade on the ball, and that's brought it in. That's beautiful.
Super shot, but he's still got a very difficult putt down the slope. But this is the 3rd shot of Per-Erik Johansson in the bunker 11. Anders Forsbrand, you can see his ball there. He's there for 2. Forsbrand could be right back in this tournament.
It's a beautiful played bunker shot there by Per-Erik.
From one Swede to another, Jesper Parnevik.
Look good as well.
Oh, a little unlucky. He was just a fraction long, and it's trying for him.
He's been lucky with that one. It could start to roll down.
And that sat in the rough, he would have had an almost impossible chip. Well, Alexander Cejka just picked up a shot at 13. Here's how he did it. He's had a bit of a bad run to the turn out in 38, but he's picked up a shot at 11. There's the birdie at 13.
Beautiful birdie.
Level par. Per-Erik Johansson for a birdie at 11, and Anders Forsbrand has a chance for an eagle. Tournament still led by Ian Woosnam, despite the Welshman dropping a shot at the par 3 12th. He's 1 under, but at the moment 4 players, Jesper Parnevik, David Guilford, Alexander Cejka and Colin Montgomery, all just 1 shot behind. And Sam Torrance, best round of the day so far, a 68, and he's just 1 over par. And I would think a very interested spectator in these proceedings. Now, most of the pros would, probably apart from Bernhard and from Colin, would like to see Sam Torrance win it after so many years. And Johansson, what a good 4. Well, there he is, only 1 over himself now.
That's a beautiful save from the bunker to make birdie there. And
first birdie of the day for Johansson, looking for his first win of 95. He's shared 2nd place in the Volvo PGA at Wentworth. This is the 8th Volvo Masters. They've all been staged at Valderrama, and we'll be back next year, October 24th to 27th. Slight changes in the sponsorship of the tour, but Volvo still hosting these and sponsoring the 4 flagship events. As Ian Woosnam, his iron player, has just been getting better and better. And that's a perfect response to their drop shot at the previous hole. Forsbrand for eagle.
Doesn't look to be his day today.
No, because in Berlin those were all going in. I understand that it wasn't for eagle, it's just for a par. So he was putting for birdie. So Forsbrand, sorry if you're an Anders Forsbrand fan, we were told it was for eagle, it wasn't. And he's still 3 shots behind. Ian Woosnam close on 13. Colin Montgomery, good tee shot.
That's no problem anyway.
He's okay
No
there.
problem. Okay.
That first day we saw from Wayne Riley chip in from around there. Now Jimenez having to lay up.
This is just going to be a layup to have a good yardage in for the pin.
Seemed to come out a little low.
Oops.
Oh, now it's tough.
Now, do you lay up from there or do you go for the green?
I suppose he has to 2 over. He has to go for it. He has to try and make 4. I'm sure the money is always nice, but I'm sure in most of these players' cases they're actually trying to win. So.
The thing today, it seems like it's so hard to get the ball in the right position on the fairway. It just tends to roll off the fairway the whole time. And
because the fairways are fast as well.
oh yeah, and 13 and 14, the shots of Ian Woosnam and Colin Montgomery onto the fairway on 13, they were just beautiful, because it's hard to play that shot today from the tee.
I say this is the 8th Volvo Masters, and Volvo still involved to the end of the century. But it won't be the Volvo Tour next year, it will be the PGA European Tour again. Volvo providing courtesy cars and sponsoring the Scandinavian Masters, the PGA, the German Open, and this Masters down at Valderrama. I suppose as a Swedish player, you must be very proud that it's been a Swedish company that's taken the tour so far forward over the last 8 years.
Yeah, I'm very proud that Volvo's doing this for the tour, and it's helping all the young players and old players on the tour, and I think all players appreciate what they do for the tour.
See how fast that putt is for Parnevik. And again, he's left himself an uphill putt, and it could have been quite easy to go 10 feet past or more.
Still a fairly good putt, because he wants to give it a chance to go in.
Chance, yeah. Oh, Colin Montgomery make it 2 birdies in a row. Never quite have the line or the pace.
Looks like if he just keeps on making pars in now, he could be the Volvo Order of Merit winner, but a bogey and it's not good.
Because if he finishes, one shot in it, if he finishes on the same score as Sam Torrance, provided it's not a playoff, that's good enough for Sam. Bernhard Langer has to finish first or second. And then Sam, if Sam was 4th, third, he said, well, we'll do the sums as and when we have to, but it's... Now, David Guilford, cracking tee shot here at 15. Can he cash in? He's got this for a share of the lead. Big swing.
That's it, the pace. Nope.
Deserved better.
Deserved better, because it was a very good putt, very fine putt. Good par.
Pass will do. Until you come to 17, and then, I don't know, if you're going to make a 4 there. Been 1 or 2. Paul Hills, of course, was one of those.
Big putt coming up for Ian. He can make this putt, wasn't
He always got it.
in.
He's finding that putting touch. Thought that was going to stay out. Ian Woosnam back to 2 under.
Leaded by 2 strokes.
That's a handy lead. Michael Johnson, Mike Campbell, Derek Cooper, and Jarmo Sandlin, the other players to make birdie at 17. And a good par from Jesper Parnevik in the end.
I like to see that, a little bit of emotions and
Bernhard Langer's got to start to make some sort of challenge. 2 over won't be good enough. We know that. Sam Torrance already in at 1 over.
that's hard to make putts from that kind of distance.
Well, this is the venue for the Ryder Cup by Johnny Walker in 23 months' time. Tickets on sale from May, and all the packages being put together. And there will be a PO box number available February, March, and we'll bring you that on Eurosport in our coverage next year. And tucks in for par, and then Matthias Grunberg has to leave now, and catches playing back to Sweden from Malaga. You going to Sweden?
No, I'm actually going to Jakarta to play.
Oh, he's going to play in the Alfred Downhill Masters. Have a good week. Thanks for joining us, and congratulations on a terrific season. Really enjoyed that win in Cron. Thanks a lot, Matthias. Valderrama, it's Ian Woosnam who leads again by 2 with that birdie at 13. More on the Volvo Masters on Eurosport after the break. Welcome back. Final round of the Volvo Masters from Valderrama, Jesper Parnevik. On the 14th, on the 16th, beg your pardon. Not a hole that you want the ball moving too far left. The fairway throws it from right to left. While you're away, Ian Woosnam had his lead cut from 2 to 1. And the reason is Alexander Cejka, who suddenly hit his best birdie form of 3 at 14. That was his 3rd birdie in 4 holes. He was out in 38, and now he's back to level par for the day and 1 under. So Ian Woosnam, 90th in the order of merit. His best finish so far is tied 10th in the Volvo Scandinavian Masters.
Into the wind and uphill. 173.
The shot you saw from Jesper Parnevik, we understand, was a provisional off 16th, so it could be big trouble for the Swede.
Yeah, the wind's slightly off the right, isn't it?
And there's wobblies and a lean time of it this year already with Woozy struggling. I doubt he's got the reserves that Woozy has. Now, has he given that enough? Into the bunker. Costatina Rocca finished with a bogey. He's finished 4 over. Ian Woosnam can't believe he's quite a long way back. Would have taken an iron off the tee. Now Colin Montgomery, difficult shot for Monty. He's in the rough. He seems to be lying okay, but could get a flyer here and doesn't really want to finish above the hole. Montgomery just 2 shots behind. Jesper Parnevik, we get the information that his first ball has been found. He's okay. It just came out a little hot, and he's where David Guilford was some 15 minutes ago or so, and we'll have quite a fast putt down the green. Well, there, how tight can it be? At the moment, if it stays like that, Colin Montgomery is Europe's #1 for the 3rd year running and wins the top prize of £125,000 from the $500,000 Volvo bonus pool. But Sam Torrance has posted his 68. Bernhard Langer has to get into the 1st or 2nd. Let's go back to 17, and it's finally got Miguel Jimenez. He played it in 7 under par yesterday. This is his 8th shot, would you believe? You see how close that pin is cut. Now if that spins back too far, he's in big trouble. He may make a 9. Well, the 17th weight of the year to grab Miguel Jimenez. He started with a birdie here on Thursday, put it in the water on Friday, and now it's got him big time. So back to slightly calmer waters, perhaps. Jose Rivero at 15. Rivero made par at 14 and is still 1 over. No Jose Maria Olazabal. No Severiano Ballesteros, although he wrote lovely letter apologising for not being here and wishing Volvo well to Mel Pyatt. This is where Lange had all the troubles yesterday when he went down onto the track on the right. That was a free drop, and there's a problem establishing where the nearest point of relief was, and he got quite a favourable job but still took a double bogey. This, as chips go on this course, is reasonably routine, and he's looking to hold it. That will be a par then for Lange. He'll stay 4 shots behind, but Ian Woosnam after that birdie at 13 is in a spot above her at 14. This is his 3rd shot from sand. He's like, oh, that's difficult. Downhill is Jesper Parnevik. When I said he was all right at 16, everything's relative. We found his ball, but it's not in good shape. Maybe seeing the end of Jesper Parnevik. You just see that the concentration involved on this course, it just never lets up. There is not an easy hole. Well, Sven Struve with that 8 at 11, drop shots at the next 2 holes. There have been plenty of 8s here at 17 so far. Let's go back to Rivera though at 15. Just Rivera then with a chance for a birdie. That's to settle for a 3. Likewise, Bernhard Lange. Just has to touch this. You see, now if that go, oh, it was looking as if it was going in, and it just broke away. That was on tape. Ian Woosnam now live to save his part. Never had the pace. This is for a 9 for Miguel Jimenez. Wayne Riley had a 9 in the first day, trouble with the water, and that's what caused the problems for Miguel Jimenez as he played the hole all the way down the right first of all. And there he goes to 6 over. Well, he won't be 2 under. He's at best going to be sharing the lead. You see Per Oriki Hansen, a birdie at 12. You heard that roar, and we think that was for a hole-in-one for Sven Struve, just ahead. Woosnam was waiting for that to settle down. Struve at 9 over, disappeared out of the frame, but Woosnam double bogey, and he's gonna be back to level par. now 5 players tied for the lead at Valderrama in the Volvo Masters. And they're tied for second because this is the man, the leader, Alexander Cejka, 1 under. This was recorded just a moment or two ago. He wouldn't have realised what was happening to Ian Woosnam, though you can look down on 14, so he may have had an inkling that he was in trouble. And just look at this shot. Well, he's had 3 birdies in 4 holes. He's got a chance of 4 in 5. I think that was a, I think that was a hole in one for Sven Struve. We did wonder. Par for Montgomery at 14. Second to 16 for David Guilford. Parnevik in trouble on this hole. That's the sort of percentage golf that is so much a speciality of David Guilford. You can see it's a glorious afternoon on the Costa del Sol, high above Sotogrande. This is for par for Anders Forsbrand at 13, and he's yet to make a birdie today. Three over. For Ulrik Johansson just in the background, gone birdie for a share of second place. Not an easy drive into the wind, which is off the left-hand side. Just a little bit of twirl trying to hang on to it. They usually mean that the ball has gone a fraction to the left, and there it is being thrown off, but that's okay. Rivero 14 pars and just the 1 bogey at 12 so far. A little bit short on the Langer, but not any problems at all. There used to be bunkers down that left-hand side. All the balls used to finish in there. And here's Sven Struve, who, sorry, Bislett, you didn't make the hole in one. What do you make it to? Still got a bit to do, make a 3. And a wretched run out in 39, and currently 9 over for the day. There's Frank Nobilo finishing his European season. Just putt at 17. He's 2 over for the day. This is for a 4. See how fast it is, and you really can't be too aggressive because the water's just 4 paces and a bit behind. Nobilo, winner of the BMW International Open in St. Jurek in Munich. And the highlight of his season, but like many others, finding this a tough examination paper. Valderrama, the manicured monster. Now Johansson for a share of the lead, and for 3 birdies in a row. Well, you just can't keep the Swedes out of the picture, can you? Forsbrand starts to fade away. Per Ulrik Johansson coming through, 3 birdies in a row, share of the lead. Now this is for a 2 for Cejka, looking for his 3rd win of the year Oh, and there are a lot of Germans down here on the Costa del Sol, and they're having a lot to cheer about. They probably thought they'd be following Bernhard Langer. It's Alexander Cejka who's setting the pace. Leader by 1. Yes, Papanovic's had all sorts of problems at this 16th, starting with a wayward drive. So I talked to a German colleague yesterday, and he said today for Cejka will be champagne or water. He said he would go for everything. It looked like it was going to be water when he reached the turn. 3 over, 4 bogeys and 1 birdie, but what a run on the back 9. Now can Colin Montgomery slide this one in close? Well, if that comes off the back, a little unlucky just to run through. You see Woosnam, suddenly he was leading by 2 shots, and now he's back there at level par, 2 behind. You see the leader in the clubhouse, there he is. Sam Torrance. Spectators like that one. And that, the best shot we've seen, a little unfortunate to run through to the back, but he's got an uphill putt. David Guilford playing the percentages, and a 4 will do, and he's still got a little bit to do before he makes his par. There's Papanovic for bogey 5. Well, there have been plenty of 6s on this hole. Amongst the leaders, Roger Chapman on his horror run of 46 on the back 9. Now Clark, when he was in contention, Jean-Louis Gepi, although Gepi has made a par 5 at 17, is 6 over. So it just has to be in the middle of the hole. There's no way that you can fluke it in, if you like. Robert Carlson had a 9 on this hole earlier in the day. 6s for Derek Cooper and for Jay Townsend. And Tony Johnston in the box on Friday, and he was saying that the day is eclectic, or the first day is eclectic, which is the highest score on each hole, was something like, ended together 47 over par. Guilford stays level. Doesn't show much emotion at any time. There's the leader by 1, Alexander Cejka. Winner in Andalusia, and the winner in Austria. Can he make it a hat-trick? Alexander Cejka leading by 1 from Per-Erik Johansson. There's the leader in the clubhouse, Sam Torrance, the man who started the week #1 in the Volvo Order of Merit. I think he's a little nervous at the moment, just wondering what will happen. It's a 6 for Parnevik, and he goes 2 over with 2 to play. So that kind of course, remember when Sandy Lyle won, he had a little bit of good fortune on 16 and 17 and then beat Colin Montgomery in a playoff, but good fortune is rare around here. You have to work for everything you get. So you had some faced with the same problem as Colin Montgomery had. He's in the rough, it will probably fly out. He doesn't really want to be past the hole, but he's got no option. He's got to play for for his 4. I think you saw the ball of Anders Forsbrand there, very close. Oh, well, that's a superb shot. He's managed to get that below the hole. You can see Forsbrand was very close as well. He just had 13 paces of green to play with there. But he's in splendid form at the moment. Chance for 4 birdies in a row.
Amazing the wind. It makes a difference on these guys. Did it?
So Barnovic really has to, if he gets a chance to take on 17, that will be the dilemma. And there he is sitting down. That's the problem taken care of, and that's where the problem started for Miguel Jimenez on his way to a 9. Ian Woosnam just on the low side. Woosnam's got a pretty good record around Valderrama. Suits his game. He's so strong from tee to green, and although you have to putt very well, that's for sure. It's not a putting competition, and all aspects of the game are tested. Jimenez to finish with a 3. Well, that makes up a little bit for the 9. It's around a 74. And great character to come back. He won't have had too many 9s in his career. As you said, 17th hole. Had to wait a year to get Miguel Jimenez, but it's all square between those two now. This is so fast. This was recorded a little earlier. That's a wonderful touch from the big man, and that led to a 3 which he made. Now what about Per-Ulrik Johansson? You know that last year there was a 62 on the second round from Bernhard Langer, course record which I think will never be beaten. Rather overlook the fact that on the 3rd day there was a 64 which beat the old record by 1 from this man Per-Ulrik Johansson, so he's used to low scoring around Valderrama. In the end finished tied 13th. Was a late entry, if you like. He won the Timofey Trophy Czech Open, the final qualifying event for the Volvo Masters, and got himself an extra week's work and won himself £11,500. You just needed more pace. Now he hasn't. It's important he doesn't get angry about that. Can't hold everything, and he's on a good run at the moment. He looks fairly collected. 1 behind Cejka. So Alexander Cejka 2 under par, striding along on the 16th. It's a first-time winner in Islantilla for Alexander Cejka, but he's never been in this situation before on this kind of golf course, in this kind of company. Now Forsbrand for birdie at 14 for his first birdie of the day. Well, it's a long time coming, but 2 over par and the long time leader. Now 4 shots off the lead. Alexander Cejka, the German, leading by 1 from Per-Ulrik Johansson. The story continues after the break, live on Eurosport. See you then. Per-Ulrik Johansson on the 15th tee, 1 under par and only 2 players are below par. Alexander Cejka is the other. He's 2 under and he leads the Volvo Masters at Valderrama. Long iron. He wants to slide this one down that straight, and just starting to drift now to the right. Could be very good. Just a fraction long, and unlucky we've seen 1 or 2 balls hold, and he's now got himself a pretty awkward chip. Here is the leader, Alexander Cejka. That's 16. He missed the green up way to the right, and well, real pressure on this man now, who won the Huabuca Open with the first round 61, the equal lowest round of the year. And that is second win. And the second round 66 here at Valderrama. We reached the turn in 29. As I say, he won't have felt pressure quite like this. Excellent though those 2 wins were. The likes of Ian Woosnam, Colin Montgomery, Bernhard Langer weren't around.
Somebody's just gone 50 seconds.
I could do without these distractions, obviously, for the players.
Right, okay.
Apparently, Alexander Cejka may be the man that's holding him up. He's playing his third. He must have had a horrid lie, because he's hardly shifted that ball forward at all. So problems for Cejka. We've seen Jesper Parnevik 2 matches ahead take double bogey 6 in. There's been plenty of drop shots. .422 yards long. .113 yards to the front of the green, and 26 on, so he was hitting that 139 yards. Actually, Jesper Parnevik's third shot to 17. Still quite a way back. See how tight that pin is. There's no real bailout to the right now. If that spins, it's in the water. In it goes, just nothing to stop it at all. And that's how you take 7s and 8s on this hole. Parnevik will be distraught. Worked so hard as the Volvo bonus ball for the top 15 in the order of merit, and there's Jesper 15th at the moment. He, at one stage, had a chance to really get himself into the top 10. Now he's just got to watch for those behind him, because the top 15 will get into the US Open and possibly into the US PGA as well. And David Guilford's 20th at the moment, so he could conceivably leapfrog above Jesper Parnevik, although Jesper himself may go above Paul Broadhurst, in fact almost certainly will, and Darren Clark. That's to be decided still. And here's David Guilford, who's the level par, and if he could just this is really going to test him. Just look at the crowds up there. This is, love it or hate it, it's going to become a very famous hole in golf, no doubt about that. They've changed it a couple of times, and it's sure going to be the scene in 23 months' time of great drama. But what would Guilford give for a 4 here? Got to be totally confident on your yard. Almost a bailout shot. It's starting to come back, but he's helter-skelter putt back down the green now. And again, Guilford, the percentage man. Yeah, Hansen hitting that one a little high. I don't think he can keep this on the putting surface. He can't. He's going off the other side. You see, he had to hit that fairly hard. He couldn't risk leaving it in the rough. The one tiny consolation, he will be uphill for his next shot. So Forsbrand and Cejka, and Johansson and Cejka both got problems. Here's Forsbrand, that's his second shot. He's just made his first birdie. If he could pop this one in, what a boost that would be for him. So Cejka has this one for par to stay in the lead. His problems with the second shot were that his ball struck a tree and came back to his feet. Incredible that he dropped 4 shots in 6 holes on the way out, and to come back with 4 birdies so far on the back 9. This would be his first drop shot coming home if he doesn't hold this. He's 1 under. Yes, Papanovic playing 5. He was 3 into the water. A drop. He's actually playing 5. Cejka tapped in for his 5. It could have been worse. Now this might spin back again. He could be in the same problem, or he's just managed to hold that on. Frank Noblo's finished with a 73. Mark James is 74. So you see that drop shot from Cejka, all square at the top, but Ulrich has to hold this one to keep it that way. And this one, it is uphill, and it's straightish. There'll be no bolder than that. Oh, he thought he was on the walk. He thought he got it, and he just wandered offline at the end. Back to level par, level with this man, Colin Montgomery. Second shot into the 16th. Montgomery will know better than anyone that you have to stay patient around Valderrama. He can still win this tournament. He's still probably thinking of being 1 shot ahead of Sam Torrance. And this is a view from the left-hand side of 17. This is Bernhard Langer laying up. Even the great Bernhard in the water on the first day. Oh dear, you see him coming out of that rough. That's going to make the 3rd shot awfully difficult. Looks as if it may be sitting up in the rough.
Is Cejka still 2 under?
What, 2 under?
Is he still 2 under?
I don't know.
You see, yeah, there we go. It just can't really be too adventurous on this one. It's got a little ridge to come over. You see, and then it starts to come off the ridge, pick up pace, and run away to the right. You see, the crowd are applauding that because they've been sat there all day. They know that's actually a pretty good putt from there. This was Jose Rivero, and he was trying to lay off also. And that up amongst the spectators and into the flowers, they're very pretty, but that's not what Jose will be thinking at the moment. Rivero, who was 1 over, shorter drop shots at 17, he may have a struggle to find his ball. 2 sixes in a row for Jesper Parnevik, and in all honesty, it could have been worse than just a single bogey at 17, but he's 3 over. And there's John Paramore, who you can't keep out of the action. He's found his way. He's going to drop up on that path. That breeze just starting to have an effect. Now, as that one slid away to the right, certainly started the right, has he been able to draw it back? No, into the sand. And a little long as well.
Volvo.
Big putt for David Guilford. He's very good, he's very calm. And he's level par. He's only one behind Alexander Cejka, who has 17 to come. He's back on the tee at the moment. Alexander Cejka then one ahead of David Guilford, Colin Montgomery, Ian Woosnam and Per-Ulrik Johansson, and Sam Torrance with the best round of the day, a 68. Sat in the clubhouse watching his rivals struggle. Hope you're enjoying it. It's a terrific finish to the end of the Volvo Tour. We'll be back with more golf from Valderrama after this. Jose Rivero, having taken a penalty drop out of the flowers, playing 4 at 17 and about to spin back. An inch or two, just managed to stop that from going back into the water. Welcome back to the climax, the grand finale of the Volvo Tour, the Volvo Masters from Valderrama. The question is, who wants to win? Because Ian Woosnam has dropped a shot here at 16. He's one over. Colin Montgomery with a par is level par, one behind the leader, Alexander Cejka, and level with David Guilford and Per-Ulrik Johansson. But Johansson in big trouble at 16. Hit a hook off the tee, played a provisional. I think he's found his first ball. Just a question of whether he can thread it through the trees and how close to the green he can get. Now Cejka second at 17. Will drive way up the right hand side. He's going to have to lay up anyway, which he probably would have wanted to do. He's hit a 4-iron. And you see he's in that rough, and that's just going to make the shot that much tougher. Well, just a little earlier on this 17th hole, though it is not. This was Bernhard Langer, the defending champion, course record holder, and this was his third at 17. Not dissimilar position to where Cejka is now. And coming out the rough, that's almost an advantage because you're not going to get the check on the ball. Had he hit that shot from the fairway, that would have spun back into the water. Well, he just made it, but his heart would have been in his mouth. And get up there quickly and get it played. That green sloping back towards the water. You can see the ridge that goes through it, slopes the front half back towards the water, the back half towards that bunker. And they've not done the players too many favours with the pin placing today. There have been any number of 8s and a 9 for Miguel Angel Jimenez. And you see Cejka probably about to face the most important shot of his life. I think Langer's chance is gone now. He's got to make this one, and as he did yesterday, birdie 18, and who knows, you'd never rule it out with Langer, because he would have calculated, he'd know exactly what he has to do. And this one is he's below the hole, so he can attack this. He won't rush it, that's for sure. Jean-Louis Guepi, the Frenchman, had a 75, only got in when Olafable dropped out, and he's had a good week, finished 6 over. He had to go for it. Langer had to finish first or second to have any chance of winning the Order of Merit. Sam Torrance is a £60,000 lead. I think he's going to stay ahead of Bernhard Langer. There's Per-Ulrik Johansson, who's played out of the trees. He's near the green, maybe in the sand, but he's actually hit quite a good shot, and he's got a chance of getting up and down. It depends. That bunker quite a way back, 7 paces from the front of the green, and the pin at 16.26 on. Rivero, if he could get away with a 5, that would feel probably like a 3. Guilford second to 18. He's got to cut it around the branches. If he makes par here, it will be a round of 71. He will lead in the clubhouse, and his afternoon may not yet be over. Into the sand. Well, the one thing you get on the European Tour is variety. We had the barrage of birdies in Berlin, some great golf you would have seen on Eurosport 3 weeks ago. And they come to this toughest of golf courses, and the scoring's not spectacular, but I hope you agree with me, it's just absolutely fascinating. I wouldn't like to call a winner at the moment. I still wouldn't rule out Sam Torrance with David Guilford in trouble at 18. If there's a playoff, it will be on holes 10, and then no decision, they go to 17 and 18. Big putt from Bernhard Langer. Makes his par. One shot behind Sam Torrance. The only way he can now win the Order of Merit is to make a birdie at the last, and hope that that is good enough to get him and Sam Torrance in a playoff, which Bernhard would then have to win, and it would have to be a multi-playoff, and Torrance would have to, well, he'd share second place. I don't think he can do it, and Johansson now in trouble, trying to be a little bit cute on that one, almost run it in. This vital, such a crucial shot for Cejka. Heart must be pumping. He's an extrovert character. If he makes this, if he gets it close, he can win. And he's played the percentage shot as he, oh no, that's headed towards, oh. You see he's reaching for the marker. Let's get up there and play it. Oh, as you think, Alexander at Cejka. His heart must have been pumping. Big shot at 17. He's played it well. Will he make par? Will he make birdie? Will he win? The story continues. See you after the break. You're looking at the man who may be on his way to winning the Volvo Masters. Alexander Cejka getting applause from his fellow countryman Sven Struve. That was for birdie at 17, and a par will do. He's 1 under. And if he makes a par at the last, he'll be very tough to beat. Per-Ulrik Johansson, remember, left his third shot in the bunker. That was for bogey, and Johansson's chances disappearing. And Guilford may also find that his problems are all on 18. He bunkered his second. He's only played to here. This is for par for David Guilford. Didn't play the best of bunker shots. Is that going in? Oh. Well, that is then a round of 72. Tied in the clubhouse with Sam Torrance at 1 over. It's a good week again for David Guilford. He's had rounds of 74, 68, 71, now 72. And then the situation, top of the Volvo Order of Merit again. Sam Torrance, if it stays like that, Colin Montgomery is Europe's #1 for the 3rd year running. This is Cejka, just has to be careful with this one. That's a, oh, what a 5 that is. He's 23rd in the Order of Merit. He's not just only playing for the £125,000 first prize money, but I think he would probably get up to around about 6th in the Order of Merit. And from the Volvo bonus pool, that would be worth an extra £26,000. So he likes fast cars. He may be able to buy 3 or 4. There's Papanovic. Well, there was a time, there was a chance for Papanovic to win this tournament. In the end, a finish at double bogey, 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 a 74. He finishes 4 over. And that's in the water, I think. No, again, he's just held it. That was Colin Montgomery's 3rd shot, and Sam Torrance's heart would have been in his mouth there. But Monty's managed to hang on. Level par at the moment. That's why the crowds are staying. So Alexander Cejka, he made a birdie here yesterday. It was important. It was for a round of 72. He opened with a 74, then had that 66. This is one of the toughest driving holes. Well, there's no easy holes here, but trees up the left, and you've got to hit it with a little bit of draw. You see that birdie yesterday. If you hit it straight, you could just run out of fairway. He's just waiting for Jose Rivero to play his second 218. Now that's the position that Alexander Cejka would want to be in. He got a little lucky yesterday, Cejka. Just clattered into the trees on the left and dropped down and hit a superb second shot in and made the putt for that birdie. Rivero 2 over, having made a 6 at 17. He's 15 pars and just 2 bogeys in his 17 holes. Now, Ian Woosnam, not out of it yet, but he's got to get a birdie from somewhere. And this may be his best chance. 3rd shot to 17. You can see Wobbly trying to get that up to the hole, and it's above it now. Doesn't want to spin too much now, just slow down there. I think he's okay. And he's pin high. I think Wobbly's more nervous than Woozy. This was Colin Montgomery's shot. See, Augustant's easy to tug that ball left with the ball lying well above the feet and coming out of the rough, but he didn't waste much time. Hit it up the right-hand side. The natural contours kept it coming in and just held on, and he didn't want any spin on that at all. And the view from our high camera between 17 and 10. And Montgomery first to play. Remember, he's just £3,800 behind Sam Torrance in the Order of Merit. And if he finishes ahead of Sam, the difference of prize money, even 4th place, 35,500. That would do it. 5th place is 32,000. So you say at this stage, if he stays level par and 1 ahead of Sam Torrance, he will be #1. Now, see, this one's quite quick, and if he misses the hole, we'll play the percent. He couldn't really be too positive. He had to take your 5, and a par at 18 will be good enough. Here's Bernhard Langer's second to 18. And the weight won't be helping Alexander Cejka back on the tee. Langer finished with a birdie yesterday. Now, this is probably the most important tee shot Alexander Cejka's ever hit. Oh, we just got a flick on the trees and out onto the fairway. The marsh, I don't know what he was doing there, but that's okay. That's position A as far as Alexander Cejka is concerned. It's not going to be Ian Woosnam's year. Hasn't been his year. Not going to be his week. That's a bogey 6 for Ian Woosnam. And he's now 3 over for the day.
Quiet now, please.
So Colin Montgomery, at least when it comes to second shot, will know what he has to do. We'll be watching Alexander Cejka ahead on the green. Now Bernhard Langer is for around a 72. No pace. That's it. Bernhard Langers our way. Gonna mark. Defending champion will be relinquishing the trophy. Best he can finish is 2 over. Per Oriki Hansen needs a birdie. Just laying up. We dropped 3 shots in 2 holes. There's David Guilford, joint leader in the clubhouse with Sam Torrance. Anders Forsbrand, the long-time leader, second shot at 17, and I have a feeling he's taking the hold on. He's going for broke, is he? Oh, no, he wasn't. He was trying to lay up, and he's in the water anyway. Water all the way up on the left-hand side. It hasn't been Forsbrand's day. Colin Montgomery just waiting for Alexander Cejka to play a second shot. He, in turn, waiting for Bernhard Langer to putt out, which he does for a 73. The 73 also for Jose Rivera. They both finished at 2 over par. Rivera just checking his car. This is the way he finished, and at the back of the green in 2, and this for a 72. And so close. So that was a 73 then for Jose Rivera. A single birdie for Jose Rivera, and still the weight on the tee for Colin Montgomery and Ian Woosnam. It's waiting for Alexander Cejka, who's in good shape on 18. Pin cut over on the right side, 22 paces back. He's got a 6-iron. All the photographers behind. That's good. That's a fabulous shot. Well, the pressure must be intense. And he's just coping well. He's an extrovert character. He will be enjoying the situation as much as that's possible. It's where he wants to be, in contention. And Colin Montgomery will have heard the applause, and he'll know that for the first time this week he needs a birdie. It may not be good enough. There's a chance that Cejka may make a birdie for the second day running. Normally Colin Montgomery likes to shape the ball from left to right, and he may have to, he can hit a draw when he has to, but probably he'll be trying to hit it up and over the trees on the left-hand edge. And he's hit just about perfectly. Not dissimilar to where he was last year when he was playing with Sevillano Ballesteros and had that big delay. And in the end, hooked it against the closed circuit television hut. And this is the applause for Cejka. He's left himself a putt up the hill. You know, and he might just make it. I don't think the crowd like that. Certainly no applause, and into the trees it goes, and he's got a little bit lucky. He's actually finished very well. So both players are okay. Sven's through the 10 over today, playing with Alexander Cejka. Once his chance has gone, I'm sure he's been encouraging Cejka. And I wonder if Alexander's father is here, or whether he's watching on Eurosport. Caddy for him when he won the Hoherbrücke Open in Austria, just across the border from Czechoslovakia, where he and his son Alex, then aged 9, escaped to flee through Yugoslavia, Italy and Switzerland, and then to Germany. And 2 years later, at the age of 11, Alexander started to play golf. Forsbrand playing 4 at 70. Now if that starts to spin, that'll be pretty good. I'm just a little bit anxious, but I think that will stop just on the edge. He may escape with a par. Led after that first round 68 and went into today leader by 1, but hasn't been able to hold on. Such a difficult pin to get close to. So Johansson knows that he can't win the Volvo Masters. This man can.
You obviously didn't hear me, but I was here and I did say.
If he makes this, that's it. Colin Montgomery would have to hold his second shot to even force a playoff.
That's right.
He's got it. He's got it. What a putt for Cejka. What a celebration. He's just won the Volvo Masters. A round of 70. And Colin Montgomery would have looked at that. Well, what a finish. What a back 9, back in 32. And I think it will be a warm handshake pretty soon from Bernhard Langer, a German has won the Volvo Masters for the second year running, and just look at that back nine, despite the little hiccup when he hit the tree at 16. A fabulous back nine. And I said Colin Montgomery has to hold this. And it really is unlikely, but you just never know in this game. Either one he's looking at it, it's at the hole. It's a great shot, but what that's going to do, that's going to give him #1 spot in the Volvo Order of Merit for the third year running, provided he doesn't three-putt, two putts to be #1. Even though he will have to give best to this man, Alexander Cejka. Worth a look at this birdie putt again. It was confidently struck. That's the straightest putt as well. He just played the hole so well. He played 17 and 18 just about perfectly. What a moment. The putt that won the Volvo Masters for this man, Alexander Cejka. Well, important now that he just checks his car, calms down and checks thoroughly, but 5 birdies on the back nine back in 32. Remember, he covered on Friday in that 66. He covered the front nine in 29, so he's had good times on pretty well all the holes on this toughest golf course in Europe. And Ian Woosnam, one stage, the turn, led by 2. But his problems really at the 14 for 3 putt, having missed the green in 2 for a 6. There's Trevor, the recorder, just checking. Sven Struber, by the way, a round of 81 wasn't his day, but he can always say, when I play with Alex when he won. But here surely is Europe's #1 for the 3rd year running. Only 2 men have done that before, the great Severiano Ballesteros and Peter Oosterhuis, who won it 4 years in a row. Now the closing stages of our coverage of the Volvo Tour. In all, we've brought you 27 events on Eurosport, and really time to just pay tribute to the men and women from PGA European Tour Productions that have produced these pictures. They're all dedicated to the various jobs they have to do, and they're as professional at their job as those men are at theirs. Thank you, chaps and ladies, for some great coverage this year. So only a 3-putt can rob Colin Montgomery, and I wouldn't bet on that. I'm sure he's going to make a solid 2 putts. Back on 17 for Ulrik Johansson for a par. Anders Forsbrand has made a remarkable find, really, considering he was in the water.
Hang on, fit.
Well, again, like the putt of Alexander Cejka, this is uphill. You see, if the 2 putts and he's going to be second. Sam Torrance couldn't have done much more. Probably tied 3rd.
Quiet now, please.
You see, there's a chance at Johansson, and Forsbrand could also get to 1 over par. But these 2 putts will do for Colin Montgomery, and he's going to do it the hard way. Mind you, if there is an easy putt, Valderrama on 18, Colin Montgomery's probably got it now, fairly straight up the hill, 4 or 5 feet. There's just out of picture Ken Schofield, the chief executive of the European Tour, congratulating Alexander Cejka. Terrific win. There wouldn't have been too many who would have backed Alexander Cejka at the start of play. Congratulations also from John Terramore. I think passing on congratulations from Andy McPhee as well. Been a terrific week, lots of meetings. Chat with Sandy Jones, the chief executive of the PGA down here at Valderrama. Planning goes on for the Ryder Cup. Volvo Masters will be here next year. We'll have to find a new venue for the 1 year in '97 because they won't stage both the Masters and the Ryder Cup here. Ian Woosnam then for a 73. It's of course not the end of this year's golf on Eurosport. Still to come, all 4 days of the Heineken World Cup from Mission Hills, China. Weekend coverage of the Australian Open at the end of November, and then in December the Johnny Walker World Championship. And well, it gets better and better for Alexander Cejka because he's made it through to trial in Jamaica. And there is Europe's #1, Colin Montgomery. It's been a hard week. He said he just came to win the tournament. I tell you, he knew what he had to do to be #1 for the 3rd year running. He was strong throughout the round of 72. And good enough for 2nd place for Colin Montgomery. Check for 83,400 and top of the Volvo bonus pool, £125,000. And well, he's had a terrific year again. Just needs that major. Surely 96 will be Monty's year. But many congratulations, Colin Montgomery. He's played world-class golf all year. No wins for Ian Woosnam in 1995, but he can take much that is positive from Valderrama, around a 74. He finishes at 2 over. He had his chances. And at Mel Pyatt, George O'Grady, Mrs. Colin Montgomery. Congratulations from the physio of the Volvo Tour as well. So Torrance tied 3rd. As I say, couldn't do any more, but Colin Montgomery out on top. So Alexander Cejka, the 1995 Volvo Masters champion, wins a check for £125,000, gets himself into the US Open, probably the US PGA, through also into next year's Open Championship. He gets himself to Jamaica in the Johnny Walker World Championship in December, which I say you can see on Eurosport. Alexander Cejka then 3rd win of the year. He was 102nd in last year's Order of Merit. What a year it's been for Cejka. Colin Montgomery, #1 for the 3rd year running, but Sam Torrance, it was that close. Torrance 2nd in the Order of Merit, and he too has had a fantastic season with 3 wins. Steady performance from David Guilford. Bernhard Langer, at one stage, looked as if he might defend his title. Ian Woosnam looked as if he might win, but faltered over the back 9. For Ulrich Johansson and Anders Forsbrand, either one of those needing a birdie to move up into a share of 3rd place. Great finish from Paul Earls, finishing birdie and a share of 10th place. Nice way to finish the season with 2 top 10 finishes. Howard Clark had a chance. Andrew Coulthard, who had the hole-in-one at the 12th, the 2nd week running, the Scots had a hole-in-one and won nothing for it. Sandy Lau at the time looked as if he had chances. Sven Struber slipping down the order with a disastrous final round, but he kept Alexander Cejka going. So John Paramore just explaining what's to happen to Alexander Cejka. You have to make a speech. You have to take this jet. Wonderful week, but no wonder they don't approve of cigarette smoking, but you can understand why he's lighting up a cigarette now. He's got a regular caddy with him now. His father, I'm sure, absolutely delighted for him. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll hear from our winner. Well, it's been a cracking 4 days live here on the Eurosport. My thanks to Mark James and Tony Johnston for joining me in the commentary box this week. Final look at the leaderboard after 4 rounds. Well, let's hear from our Volvo Masters champion, Alexander Cejka.
I just spoke with Karel, my caddy, and we just said we're going to play aggressive, you know, and if we drop a few putts, then we have a big chance. And then I made a few birdies, and then everybody dropped shots, and finally I'm here.
And this was the putt that secured victory. Confidently struck straight into the hole, and victory here at Valderrama takes him to 6th place in the final order of merit. And congratulations to Colin Montgomery, finishing #1 in the Volvo Order of Merit for the 3rd season in a row. A close race with Sam Torrance and Bernhard Langer.
Yeah, as I approached the 10th tee after dropping shots at 8 and 9, Sam Torrance birdied the last. They got a +1, and I was +1 at the time as well. So I knew I needed to play the back 9 1 under. And I hadn't dropped a shot on the back 9 all week, and I felt that I was playing okay, just a matter of getting a little bit fortunate, and I got my birdie at 12, probably one of the hardest holes to get one at, and scrambled home. 17 was lucky, but hell, you need a bit of luck. But congratulations, Alexander. It was a great effort. To come here first time and win here is a super effort.
Congratulations again to our winner, Alexander Cejka. It's been a wonderful 4 days here in Valderrama. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. From me, Steve Beddoe, goodbye.
The Volvo Tour was brought to you by Volvo.